What is up, everybody? Bingo here. I'm with the Duel Factory and Ray again for Season 2, Episode 14 of X-2 Drop, our Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast we do every week talking about something. Seemingly these days, there's less and less to talk about besides the fact that we can't play the game. But this week, we're going to talk about how we're keeping busy and how we're actually still trying to enjoy the game with the limitations put on us by this situation we're in. So we're just going to be running through decks that we're messing with, engines, whatever, just anything that has to do with deck building that is keeping us busy. And Joe, this was your topic, so rightfully so, you should get to throw out the first deck, and I'm going to assume I know what it is.
I don't know. Do you know what it is, John?
I don't know. I'm going to guess water.
You are absolutely correct.
All right. So which version of the deck are you leaning towards? What's different about it? Obviously, Diva came to 3, so I'll let you take it.
So we got a major consistency boost with Diva being at 3, like you said. Master Rule 5 helps because you have a bunch of different avenues for different combos and stuff like that. So I think going forward, I think it's better turn 1 break a board deck versus traditionally when I played with it and had a lot of success with it was going second OTK deck, but it can still do that. And like I said, with Master Rule 5, it opened up a lot of avenues, combos the deck didn't recently have access to. The problem with that, though, is what I'm noticing, especially watching other people play it and doing test hands and seeing options that you can go with certain routes like Teus Dragoons or Diva or so on and so forth. Is the deck has a lot of unsafe combos where you at any point if you get Nibiru the turns over and stuff like that. So there's a lot of different things you can do with it. It just depends on what you want to do at that point. But the deck has a lot of avenues, stuff to work with. So I've been playing around with it a lot lately.
Is there any way the deck can play around Nibiru?
Yes. So one of the combos that, well, obviously one of the bread and butter combos of water is always going to be Teus Dragoons. That's always been one of the best plays. And there's a route you can take with it that you make Toad within your first 5 summons that lets you have a way to negate Nibiru if your opponent has it. And then your ending board is actually pretty strong because you end up taking 3 cards from your opponent and you end on the Emancipator level 8 Water Dragon, or whatever the fuck it's called. I think it's Dragite. It lets you end on that, which is a negation. A Toad, that's a negation. You have a live Abyss Glacia at the top of your combo, and then you also have a live Needle Fiber if need be. So that's probably the best turn 1 opening combo that you have. And it's the safest combo out of all of them because it plays around it. Obviously, there's other hand traps in the meta, but usually you have extenders like Aqua Spirit and stuff like that. And even the Mana Ray card, it's a level 4. It's either Aqua or Fish, but it fills the same purpose as Aqua Spirit, but can trigger your cards like Dragoons and stuff like that. So extenders let you play through those plethora of hand traps, but Nibiru is the big concern right now.
Does getting the new trap card help? Can you make that card and still combo off?
So just like when you were making, just like the first play, doing Teus Dragoons, if you can put 2 4s on the field and make that card before you go off in your combo, yes, it does help, especially with that card. Excuse me. But generally, a lot of the times it's safer to make the Toad play, just because a lot of your there's some cards it doesn't conflict with cards like Marine's as Coral and Enemy that locks you into water monsters. Whereas if you were playing the Trap Tricks card and you had to go into an enemy before that, then it conflicts. But you can play it, and it's great for combo decks. But I don't know. I'm still going down the avenue. I'm just trying to figure out what combos are safe, what combos are unsafe. Because, the unsafe combos is a whole plethora where you can loop your opponent's entire hand. Like I said, it's unsafe to do that.
Yeah. And you think game 1, should you be trying to do that?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Main deck Nibiru is fucking everywhere.
I've seen it a lot on online play for sure. It's just one of those things you have to, even if you can get a read on your opponent, I don't even know if I would do the combo. Because it's there, the option's there, but there's so many things going around. Orcus is starting to become a little more popular, so you can put Orcus cards in the graveyard. This Emancipator deck that I've been watching all day, they have a lot of new monsters, especially with sub engines they're playing. They get benefits of being good. It's too unsafe to go, even if it's game 1.
Okay. Is there anything that you're looking forward to in the next set for that deck?
Oh yeah, we finally get the deep sea support, which makes taking cards out of your opponent's hand a lot easier and a lot safer.
Yeah, I've never.
Those cards are actually insane. You get so much knowledge going first, going second. Like there's so much stuff you can do with those cards.
Any of them let you look at your opponent's hand?
Not off the top of my head, but I know they get like a Rhoda S card. I wish I knew the names off them off the top of my head.
Yeah, it's still a little ways away, so I haven't read them yet. All right.
But yeah, no, it's pretty sick.
So water has taken up a lot of your time. I'll pass it to Ray. Besides Karibo, what have you been building?
So I've done heroes, but there's not really a lot of changes with the build that I've done. I do need to try out with Infernal Divisor, with like the cheeky Grand Merge Flame Wingman.
That card's broken.
I do want to play it. It doesn't seem like it's the best build of the deck, but it definitely seems like it's the most fun build. So I need to try out that. And then I've been trying out DDD, but DDD has the same problem Water does, but a lot worse. Just because, like, the only safe combos you have in DDD to play around Nibiru and in, like, a super lackluster board, even with the new Link card, you just can't build a threatening board in that deck and like play around Nibiru at the same time. You just have to live with the fact that if they have it, you're going to get hit by it.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what keeps a lot of the like fun rogue decks at bay is just not being able to play. Like they can combo the fuck off, but they can't play around that card.
Yeah, 100%. It's just like you just have to live with the fact that if they have it, you're done. Your turn's over.
I think the worst part about DD is they have like the perfect card to play around it, but you have to make it too soon in your combo. That's like the big problem.
Maybe we'll get cross-out designator soon, right?
Hopefully at some point.
That card is so good.
Yeah, it is.
Do you guys feel like when you're deck building right now, you're doing a lot of stuff that like if you went to a regional you wouldn't be, but you're like, this is just way more fun and neat. So I'm gonna put this in right now. Because I find myself doing that a lot.
I can't tell you how many endless hours I've put into putting Time Thief into every deck. Like we were talking about Heraldic Time Thief the other day because I watched Phoenix Flare do a deck building challenge for it, and it's actually just awful.
Yeah, I mean, you saw like that one list I posted for Zoo that was just like everything possible. It had the Blackwing cards in there. It had Wise.
I still have no idea what you were attempting with that. Like I even sat down and looked at it and like tried to digest it, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Yo, the combo was sick.
Clearly.
But yeah, all right. As far as obviously the one deck that me and you have put the most time in for me is Zoo. Like there isn't an ideal way to play that deck right now unless you open like a Rat Winder. But I really want to take that deck to locals. It's so much fun. I feel like just being able to play Dryden, having a second one would be really nice, but you can only get so much on one list.
I've put way more theory into that deck than I should have. But, like, so what I've discovered in my brief testing, and I've shown you, is the deck is starved for level 4 extenders. Whereas Winder is by far the best extender, right? Like, there's no doubt about that. Just in the deck, best card.
Well,
the problem with that is there's no searchable way for Winder. There's just no way to do it.
Just Winder synergy with the Zoo cards themselves and the Bujin Link monster. It enables so much for the deck. Like, yes, to end on Dryden Perpetua and Redoer, you do need another extender, but that's not that much. Like, you have a fucking Winder, Perpetua, Trident, and a Bujin Link pop. Like, that's just really good for a deck that is dead, you know?
Oh, yeah, it's insane. But it also has the same problem as a lot of decks. It's just, it doesn't have a safe combo.
Absolutely not. But yeah, and like, it's that, well, if it's the ABC problem, you know, if you open Hanger, it's like, if you open Winder, it's great, but you're just ending on Trident Pass most of the time.
The classic problem. Isn't that right, Ray?
100%.
Boom.
All right, so one of these days, I guess after I get Megaclopses, I'll upload my Zoo profile, but
you should have fun.
Joe, what else? What else have you been building?
So we have that for competitive right now. I've been playing Salamangreat. Actually, let me get my DB pulled up quick while I'm thinking about it. But in terms of competitive circle right now, I've been looking a lot at Salamangreat because I still think it's one of the most consistent decks out right now. But that's another thing. And then, like I said, watching a deck building challenge the other day, which I thought was hilarious, and actually turned out to be something that might actually be feasible for like locals level, is Heraldic Time Thief.
All right, you're speaking gibberish to me. Explain.
So I don't know if any of you remember it, but the Heraldic card came out a long time ago. I think the first wave of the cards came out in Abyss Rising, and then they got more stuff in Cosmo Blazers. So this is arcade Yu-Gi-Oh at this point. But they were just a really good level 4 generic engine for rank 4s. And they worked really well at the time with Lavalval Chain and stuff like that. And they haven't really been able to do anything since then. But we got the new Master Rule, and the Time Thief cards work really well with them. And plus we got some OCG imports a long time ago that actually made the deck a little bit more viable. So all it does, basically the whole theory of the deck is you find a way to put 2 level 4s on the field to make their XYZ monster, which their XYZ monster's name is, if I can find it, let's do just Heraldic. But they have like an archetype specific like Miracle Fusion for XYZ. Here we go. Heraldry Patriarch. So the whole idea is you put 2 4s on the field, and then its main effect is, let's see here. While this card remains face up on the field, your opponent cannot summon a monster with the same name and stuff like that. But hold on. This is the main part of it. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can send 2 Heraldic Beat monster from your deck to the graveyard, which lets you send Leo, which is a searcher, and then you can send like a Unicorn, which brings back the XYZ monster and continues to let you link and stuff like that. So there's like cool niche little combos and stuff like that go with it, and the Time Thief cards pair with it really well because some of the cards restrict you to only making psychic monsters for the rest of the turn, and all the Time Thief cards are psychic, so it also works really well with the Sign Frame cards too.
All right, I'm curious because you said Cyframe cards, so I'll go with you after this.
You're welcome. But yeah, that's like a super minor side project I've been working on. Plus the core is less than $7. Just put.
So you're competitive. Well, like we'll touch on competitive decks and then get into super jank after that. Ray, as far as competitive like strategies go, like what are you leaning towards this format?
So I have, I just stole Aaron's Orcus list, and then I've been trying to figure out a 40 for Sky Striker. I don't think it's a huge change from last format, but I'm still juggling between whether I want to play 2 or 3 Pot of Avarice in the main. So,
it's 3 100%, but yeah, there's no question that card is just busted. Yeah, as my competitive deck of choice is Sky Striker. Which version of the deck I want to play, I don't know. I've messed with like 6. Like I think Magician Souls is a really good card in that deck, but I don't know. The extra deck's so tight, and I'm really just waiting for Eternity Code because I think they get a really nice boss monster in that deck or that set with Access Code Talker. That card is just on like it's nuts. You guys
Access Code Talker is actually broken.
Yeah, you guys know what it does?
A little bit.
I actually don't.
All right, so it's a Link 4, 2 plus effect monsters like any other fucking thing. The first effect's like a gain attack. It's not relevant, but it could get pretty big. And then you can banish 1 Link monster from your field or grave, destroy 1 card your opponent controls, but for the rest of the turn, you can't banish a Link monster with that attribute. So it's not once per turn, but you can only use each attribute once. And it says also, where is it? Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects in response to the activation of this card's effects. So it's pretty nutty. You can clear an entire board and just swing for, I think you can get easily up to 4,300.
I don't know. Every time I've seen it summon in replays, it's usually game. Usually.
Yeah, so the other effect is when it's Link summoned, you can target a Link monster that's used for its summon, and it gains 1,000 times that monster's Link rating. So you can get this thing up to 5,300 if you use a Link 3, but you're probably going to use like a Link 2 and 2 Link 1s or regular monsters. So you're going to clear their whole board and swing for 43. It's pretty nice, and they can't respond to either effect.
Sounds broken to me.
So I like 2 anchor with strikers is really good, but I mean it's still rogue. But I'm the most comfortable with it, and Gearsu's not out, so I'm not going to play Orcust.
All fair.
All right, what super jank decks have we been building?
Super, like how jank are we talking here? Like bottom of the barrel jank, or like
Oh, then we're
the stuff-
100%
the stuff-
researching Karibos.
The stuff you don't want to tell your friends.
the stuff I don't want to tell my friends?
Yeah, the decks you're like, man, this deck sucks, but I want to build it anyway. So besides water, obviously.
Oh wow, wow. Okay, well that hurt a little bit, but
Oh, sorry, Joe.
fair. I mean, I may or may not have still been working on ABC list posts, ban list, but we're not going to get into that now because now I feel awkward.
All right, ABC. How are you still trying to make that deck work, man?
Bro, follow me here, right?
I'll try.
So, I need you to both take your hands, put them out in front of you. We're going to start counting how many copies of ABC Dragon Buster we have. So we have 1 actual copy of it, right? But wait, there's more. We have Daigusa Emerald, which gets you it. So that's 2 copies of ABC Dragon Buster, right? But wait, there's more. It has
3 avarice.
2 materials. So that's 3 copies of Buster, okay? But wait, there's more. We have 3 copies of Avarice. So that's 6 copies of ABC Dragon Buster. But wait, there's still more. We have Reborn and 3 copies of Magnet Reverse. So that's like infinite copies of ABC Dragon Buster.
All right. So with all these copies of Buster, how are you going to combo?
You just do the same combos you do usually. You make a Union Carrier. Use it to either A, send missing piece that you need for Buster, or if you already have Hanger, you get Photon Orbital and you end on ABC Dragon Buster and Infinity. Infinity protects the Buster to resolve its effects so that way you don't lose it by Called by the Grave. Easy.
Don't you have to discard 2 cards from your hand to end on that combo, plus a Buster discard?
Look, I didn't say it was ideal, but we get there. All right?
Okay, that's fair.
But yeah, I may or may not have been working on that in my private time that nobody knows about. But we're not going to get into that.
All right.
Just know we have infinite copies of ABC Dragon Buster.
Yeah, we did before as well. But Ray, what have you been saucing up?
So Karibos, I looked at Constellars recently because MCO40 posted up a list online, but I wasn't a fan of it.
Is it like a stun Constellar or what?
Yeah, it was just using the deck pretty much as like a rank 4 engine with the 80s and then just stun cards. So other than that, I need to look at the Flame Noble Knights. I know they're not good, but I like the deck. Like I really like the art.
We
for
are
Noble
not
Knights.
talking about good right now.
Well,
I want to make that
100%,
clear.
Yeah.
Oh, trust me. Good was never in this podcast.
Finally admitting that water is bad, Joe. That's the first step to recovery, you know? I'm proud of you.
Listen here, you whore.
All right, so the Karibo list, I'm interested. Why'd you want to build Karibo?
Oh, you gotta tell them why.
I wasn't in the chat that night.
Yeah, so it's just a long-running joke between Aldo and I that Karibo was tier 0 at one point because we both had this memory that Princess Sprite was a card in the TCG, and so we built the deck and we're like, wow, this deck is busted. But Princess Sprite had not been released, and in fact wouldn't be released for like another year in the TCG until like another year after when we had brewed Karibos as a deck. And it's basically like Karibos with like Kariborn had just come out, so you could like bring back a bunch of Karibos at the end of your opponent's battle phase and you just like rank 1 spam. And so you would use Princess Sprite to like excavate the top cards of your deck, and then other than that, you would just end up beating over your opponent with either a BLS or you would just relinquish and 1,000 dies a ton of their stuff away. So like, it's not a very good deck, and it forces your opponent to play really weird old Yu-Gi-Oh, which is what we love about it. But it's just this giant meme that like Joe went back in time to stop Princess Sprite from being printed, so we couldn't win a YCS with this terrible Karibo deck.
I've never been more mad in my life when they said that I went back in time to prevent this from happening.
You did, Joe. Like, let's be honest.
Like, let's stop here for a second. I had the power of time travel, and what do I use it for? To stop Karibos from winning a YCS.
100%.
All right, maybe one of these nights we'll have to record a match, bad deck versus Karibo. I don't know which bad deck, but that would be pretty fun.
That'd be hilarious. And then I'll just go back in time and stop it from happening, apparently.
Definitely.
All right, as far as my bad decks go, it's always spellcasters, right? It's fucking spell books, witchcrafters, and I mean pure invoked, but that's a constant. That is a constant deck, no matter what, right?
Yeah.
So this is where do I admit that I've been putting a Blue Eyes deck together?
What about Blue Eyes?
Is this where I admit that I put a list together?
Oh, I just assume you always have a Blue Eyes list running because Dark Magician's just a given for me.
Fair enough.
Actually, I haven't updated that since pre-Magician Souls, so it's a little dated.
Do you have those yet?
Maybe. I still have an unopened box of Legendary Duelists right here. But no, because they were down to 80s. I'm like, should I buy them? And I was like, no. Maybe they'll go lower, and they're back up to 90?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I'm super excited for the Animatia cards. Like, I really...
Yeah, but that deck might be legitimately good.
Like, that deck is so cool in the way it plays. The synchros are just beautiful. Like, I understand the best way to play it is just like this Wombo combo. Like, you barely use the Animatia synchros, but they're just so pretty.
You're not wrong.
Like,
that Dragite is beautiful.
Dragite and Leonite. It's really annoying that Raptite's a super, but whatever.
We're not going to get into it.
All right, so how do we fucking keep playing the game? Right? Like, I haven't played. I have. This is the first time in like 5 days that I've sat down to think about the game because it's just so hard to play right now. Like, it's all fun and good to get drunk in Discord and watch Joe play ranked, but like that's about it.
Yeah, I like how that's how I'm like your guys' main source of entertainment when are you gonna play ranked?
Hey, I'm undefeated in ranked. All right, I was drunk. And I went in with Sky Striker and bodied some dude.
You played one card and the guy left.
Nuh-uh. I played a full game 1 and then he left halfway through game 2 because he sucked. I don't know what to tell you.
Joe, I don't know why you're complaining. This is how you win over half your ranked matches. Your opponent just gets mad and leaves.
That is really what happens. I'll just sit there and like, I'll activate this effect. Like, it's not even like a broken, right? It's just Bailing. And I'm like, Bailings. That's it. Not even Buffalo, just Bailings. Nothing followed by it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whenever, click. I was like, oh, sweet, free rating.
Wheelchair cat saves the day.
Wheelchair cat. It's exciting. It is a very exciting time to be alive.
Is it though?
I don't know. Jerry's still out on that one.
I mean, it's one of those times you'll definitely get to like bullshit your kids about when they're born and be like, yeah, I had to deal with this dumb shit. What have you had to deal with?
Yeah, Locals was closed for a month.
Yeah, it was
Locals was closed for a month.
And not just because they went out of business this time.
But they also did go out of business this time.
Oh, that's so tough.
It's gotta suck to be those store owners, man. It really does.
I mean, you're gonna see there are a lot of people I know that are like trying to swap to online sales, but it's like how viable is that? Because you know that's what everybody else is already doing, and like the bigger, more established stores that already had an online presence, that's where most people are gonna go, right?
It's where a lot of stores are generating most of their money to begin with.
Sure, you're gonna be able to do like eBay and TCG Player, but like, is that gonna cover the rent and the bills?
Yeah, the rent and the overhead, because, I mean, you still have to buy Konami's product.
Yeah.
That's another thing is like, how do you resell that? Because then you have to start selling sealed online, which is a whole different game.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever ordered sealed product online.
It's a scary place.
It's not bad. It's just one of those things of like, trying to find the right person, and then it's like, especially for like pre-ordering sucks. I don't do pre-ordering online. I've bought boxes online after release because they're cheaper, but
yeah, you got people trying to sell boxes for like $10 over retail.
Or you have like all the guys that'll be like, oh yeah, it's $40 for a box, and then like you have to go in and read the description. The description's like, yeah, I'm going to take out all the secrets and the ultras. You get all the other stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like, well, that's not a $40 box because I'm not getting the cards that I probably want.
That sounds like an eBay thing.
Oh yeah, that's 100% eBay. TCG wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, I'm always sketchy on ordering shit off eBay outside of like singles, you know.
Yeah, because singles you can see the photo of. You can look at it and be like, all right, I see the condition this card is in.
I bought a box one time online, and I was getting back into it, and it was probably the worst purchase I ever made. It was not good.
I bought a box.
Just like experience was bad, or?
Well, it was office sealed product, and this guy just sent it in his big manila envelope. All these packs is in here.
Oh, it wasn't even like he didn't send a sealed box. He like opened it and sent the packs.
Yeah.
Was it back when packs could be scaled or what?
This was back in 2011, 2012. I was just getting back into the game, and I was like, you know what? I had never bought as a kid. And then I looked, I'm like, this is not how I remember this.
Yeah, the only sealed box I bought was a box of Steam Siege, which was a Pokemon set for fun. Like, that was it. I just wanted to open a box of cards, and it was like $30.
How'd that go?
It was good. I didn't pull any money cards, but it didn't really matter. I ended up selling like half the shit, and I made like $10. So.
Hell yeah.
Or like
no, yeah, Pokemon's one of those games where like reselling's ridiculous because like their bulk price is like 3 cents per common.
Yeah, Pokemon's so much easier to plus off of. It's insane.
Yeah,
like you just need one good pull, and that can pay for half your box, and then everything else. Like Boss's orders, the Lysander and the next set it's like pre-ordering for like $12 a rare, and it's just a regular card. All right, we got like 2 minutes left. I don't even know what to talk about, honestly. Like, I just want to sit down and actually play the game, and I can't. Like, that's all I keep saying.
I think it's one of those things that got to the point where I'm like, I've missed the feeling of sitting there, putting my mat down, taking my deck out of my backpack, shuffling it up, putting it across the table, letting my opponent cut my deck, and he looks at me and he's like, damn, this just feels expensive. I miss that.
Well, even like without that, there's like a difference between like online and in person. In person, you like have the social etiquette, right? Where online, there's like a 50% chance you're going to tell this man that like, no, you can't use 2 ash in a turn. He's going to call you the N-word and then leave the duel.
Oh, wow.
Joe, you forgot the part where you sit down and across from your opponent, you just tell him good game before it starts.
Oh, yeah.
Where you hit him with the disrespect. Like, should I go report the win now or after we're done?
Here's the thing. Like, we don't respect our opponents around here.
No.
All right? It's almost like when you sit down at a fighting game tournament. You just don't respect.
No, you 100% hit him with the disrespect.
And you make the Liu Kang pick and you just stare him in the eye.
All right. Well, Joe, you got any closing comments?
Well, hopefully quarantine ends soon and Douglas French has no sauce.
That he does. Ray, you got any closing comments?
Nah.
Oh no, Kami!
Well, guys, that has been this week's episode of X2 Drop. Hopefully, we'll have some more exciting news next week, and we can actually talk about something going on in the community rather than just what we're doing for fun to pass the time. So if you have enjoyed the video or if you have a better topic idea, please remember to leave a comment or message us on YouTube, youtube.com/bingohd, youtube.com/theduelfactory, or shoot him a message on Twitter. He seems to be enjoying that since I made him make one.
Well, I don't know about that part, but yeah.
All right. Peace out. See you next week.
Okay, bye.